Good afternoon. Call to order the Knox County zoning meeting for Monday, December 8th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rawls.
Present.
Commissioner Darrett.
Present.
Commissioner Oster.
Here.
Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Russell. Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson. Commissioner Fox. Commissioner Jay.
Here.
Commissioner Frazier. I have 10 members present.
Thank you. And I will now turn it over to Commissioner Lee to lead us in the pledge.
If everyone could please stand if you're able to for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Amendments to the agenda. There's no additions, no withdrawals, and number 1 is deferred to January. Do we have any others? Commissioner Jay?
I think, isn't number 7 deferred as well?
That's the one that Mr. Young asked for. Commissioner Fox, are you wanting to postpone that until January?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I was going to wait till it got called, but I'm fine to withdraw that from the agenda right now.
Okay, perfect. So we've got number 1 and number 7 will be deferred till January. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Durrett, second by Commissioner Frazier. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Next item.
Approval of minutes of the previous meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Jay, second by Commissioner Frazier. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Director Moyers, if you will swear in the individuals, please.
All right, if you're here to speak to this board on any item on the agenda, either for or against, if you wish to be heard tonight, please stand and raise your right hand. Ran out of air. Is that everybody? Is that everybody who plans to speak tonight? All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Be seated, please.
Thank you. All right, and we have no public forum, so Madam Clerk, if you will read the first item, please.
The first item is item number 2, 11-D-25-RZ. It's a request of Ball Homes LLC for rezoning from RA low-density residential to PR Plan residential up to 2 dwelling units per acre. The property is located at 12434 Buttermilk Road, 129096 in the 6th Commission District.
Thank you. Applicant?
Yeah, Ben Mullins, 550 West Main Street, and Ryan Hickey here for Ball Homes.
Okay, we have nobody signed up to speak in opposition, and no one's here. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PR Plan Residential Zone up to 2 dwelling units per acre because it's consistent with adopted plans, subject to 1 condition.
Thank you. Mr. Mullins?
Yeah, just briefly, this one's already zoned RA, which right now would allow 4 units an acre, but with the 10,000 minimum lot size and some of the challenges on that property with the topography and the like, then it actually makes sense to rezone it to PR at 2 units an acre. So we're going down in density to give us more flexibility. The only condition is a connection to Centerview. That is a subdivision that Ball Homes is also developing. It's not fully built out yet, so we have some flexibility there to be able to actually think we're losing a lot there to be able to make that connection, but that would be better for that subdivision and for the one that we're planning here, more safety, more connectivity. So we'd ask that you approve.
Perfect. Do I have any discussion? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Hill.
Thank you very much. I did talk with Mr. Hickey about this and have taken a look. It really is just a continuation, even with less density, of what is already right next door. So I have no objection to this at all, and I'd like to make a motion that we approve
planned residential zoning up to 2 dwelling units per acre. It's consistent with the adopted plans, and there is the subject of one condition, the connectivity.
Thank you. I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second?
I actually had a question.
Okay, Commissioner Frazier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I had a question about the capacity of the road standards. Are we exceeding the road standards? It's 18 feet with buttermilk.
I don't recall, maybe Mr. Snowden can tell you, it's in the rural area. I think we have it's 18 feet is what according to the plan, zoning report is 18 feet, which is why in the rural area, you can go 2 units an acre if you have 18 feet, and so it meets that criteria. We could have kept it at RA and done 4 and decided not to, but the rezoning requires you to go down to 2 because of the road standards. Is that?
Director Snowden, are you comfortable with that?
I am. The road's probably a little wider than 18. It's got, I think, center and edge markings on it. They did do the traffic study that we concurred with, and we were comfortable with that analysis.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll admit, I'm not familiar with this part of town, but looking at Buttermilk Road to Marietta Church Road and those type of intersections, is there any anticipation that would impact those intersections, anything like that, as far as the roads that it then leads to?
Yeah, one good thing about this particular location is the bulk of traffic, or I would assume the quickest way to get on the interstate system would be towards Watt Road. And the state in their 10-year plan has improvements planned for the interchange at Watt Road, as well as the widening of Everett Road. And then the county obviously has a contract with Cannon to look at ways to build extra capacity down into that quadrant of the county as part of the Hardin Valley Mobility Study. So I think you'll see us invest a lot of our resources in that community over the next 10 years that hopefully would mitigate those issues.
Okay, thanks.
Got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Rawls. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck with your project.
Thank you all very much.
Next item, please.
Item number 3, 11-B-25-RZ, is a request of Knoxville Dream Center for rezoning from A agricultural to RA low-density residential. Property is located at 6521 Keck Road, parcel ID 068 HB 006 in the 7th Commission District.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? If you'll come to the podium, sir.
Has he been sworn
in? Were you here to be sworn in?
I was, but I didn't plan on speaking, so I didn't.
So we're going to turn it over to Director Moyers real quick.
All right, sir, if you'd raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. If you'll give your name and county residence, please.
Paul Harris, Knox County.
Okay, and I don't have anybody signed up to speak. No one's in the audience to speak. Director Brooks.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the RA low-density residential zone because it brings the lot into compliance with the comprehensive plan and zoning regulations.
Thank you. Sir, would you like to speak to your project? Tell us a little something.
We're just doing it so we can build at least one house, possibly 2, but the goal really is to get one newer home. The existing home is from 1968 with a widow who lives in it that's in very ran-down condition.
Okay, perfect. All right, do we have any questions? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Harris, I did speak with him on the phone. Thank you for talking to me. I was a little concerned about the Knoxville Dream Center, what the plans were. However, in speaking with Mr. Harris, it's not going to be any kind of business or a drug facility. And it's going to be a house, maybe 2 houses, and there's a very old house on the property that eventually I think they're going to tear that down. And I think it does conform to the neighborhood, so I will be making a motion to approve this.
Perfect. Do I have a second? Okay. I think I heard Commissioner Durrett first. I'm sorry. Okay. Any further discussions? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck with your project, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item number 4, 11-A-25-PA, is a request of Tyndall's Building Supply for an amendment to the Knox County Comprehensive Plan from SMR Suburban Mixed Residential and HP Hillside Ridgetop Protection to CC Corridor Commercial and HP Hillside Ridgetop Protection located at 7751 North Freeway and 7747 Heights Drive, parcel ID 028-046-048 partial, and it's in the 7th Commission District.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Yes, ma'am. Robert Campbell, 7523 Taggart Lane, on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you. And I have no one signed up to speak. Director Brooks.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the CC corridor commercial place type because it's consistent with the existing land use and compatible with surrounding development.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell, would you like to speak to the project?
Yes, ma'am. We've, obviously, Tyndall's Building Supply has been in business now for a long time, close to 100 years, I think, or 70 years, excuse me, and a lot of them at this location. They do warehousing, they do retail sales, but it is at the right off of North Freeway, and the property is kind of the one that we want to get rezoned is between two that are being used in a commercial way currently. So that's what we're asking for.
Perfect. Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Thompson.
Oh, sorry, thank you. Looking at the map here, are you planning on building another warehouse, or what are you planning on doing here?
So currently, Commissioner, in the property on where the lower right there, CBR, I think, we are building a warehouse facility there. And the home office is in the other part that's commercial along Gordon Smith. Right now, it's probably just going to be parking. And the access, we are improving Freeway Heights Road to the edge of the property that we own so that we'll widen it and make sure that it's capable of carrying any kind of traffic. But it's really kind of a missing piece in the middle of what is a commercial use. And they park their vehicles there, they park other stuff there, so it really is acting kind of as a commercial area currently. But we don't have any plans for it right now.
Gotcha, okay. I was just curious, and I know where this is. I've driven by it a million times on North Freeway.
Yeah.
What's the relationship, because I know there's a couple residential houses just on the other side of it, and are you all planning on doing any sort of buffer or keeping the trees there? Or how does that work with the neighbors?
Yeah, so currently on the warehouse that we're building, we do have a buffer, and I think it's like 35 feet or something in the rear. There is trees not being planted currently. There already are some buffers there. But yes, and then we've actually, yeah, that's right. But if there's a buffer requirement when we come to building, if we ever build on that parcel, then we certainly have that. But there's only one house on the CB that's down there. I don't have my glasses. I might need to get those off. But anyway, we are having there you go, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is a tree buffer that's there, and you're correct. You see where the little strip is? That's the old access?
Right, yes.
Yeah, so that's where we are putting a buffer in place now between there and the residence that's there. And then if we need one, we'll keep that buffer, that tree buffer that's there between the other residents.
Okay.
But again, we're not developing it, so we don't have a requirement to have any kind of buffering. And we're just going to use it as its current parking area.
Okay. No, thank you. I know y'all have been there forever and are a great neighbor there too, so thank you.
Commissioner Lee?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to say that Tyndall's is a great asset to this part of the county, and we appreciate them. And I believe all the neighbors around have no problem with Tyndall's, and I will gladly support this motion to approve this.
Second.
All right, I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lee and a second by Commissioner Frazier. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Don't go far. Next item, please.
The next item is number 5, 11-H-25-RZ. It's also a request of Tyndall's Building Supply for rezoning from CB Business and Manufacturing and A Agricultural to CA General Business, and the property description is the same as the previous item.
Thank you. You want to add anything, Mr. Campbell?
No, ma'am. Again, part of this is being used as a commercial development, and it just had not gotten rezoned. So that's why we're trying to clean up this and prepare possibly for some time in the future.
Perfect. Commissioner Lee?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I will make a motion to approve this as well.
Got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lee and a second by Commissioner Thompson. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck with your
Yeah,
project.
thank y'all very much. See you.
Next item, please.
Item number 6, 11-G-25-RZ is a request of 1222 Development for rezoning from A Agricultural to CA General Business located at 0 Asheville Highway, parcel ID 062-049 in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. The applicant's present.
Good evening, Stephen Clare, Knox County, Tennessee.
Thank you. And I don't have anyone signed up in opposition. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the CA General Business Zone because it's consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and surrounding development.
Thank you. Mr. Clare, would you like to tell us about the project?
Yes, ma'am. This is planned to be a small self-storage center on this project. There's a large stream large stream buffer that runs across the front of the property, which actually will present nicely to shield the entire frontage on Asheville Highway from being able to see it. We have drawn up preliminary plans per the ordinance 4.9 to meet all of those standards, including the opaque fence and the evergreen buffer and the dark sky lighting that doesn't bleed across the property line. So we're hopeful that you would approve the motion made by the Planning Commission.
Perfect. Thank you. Do we have any questions? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have spoken previously about this, and he'd reached out, and so we had a good discussion about the, I guess, the fencing and the buffer and the potential use and the intended use for the property. So after that, and you did speak with the resident nearby who had a concern, and so everything's good because they were here last month at Planning Commission, but they're not here tonight. So I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Thank you. I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Frazier. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Best of luck with your project.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item, please.
Item number 7 has been deferred, so we're on item number 8, 10-O-25-RZ. It's a request of Leonard Development, LLC, for rezoning from A Agricultural to PR Plan Residential up to 5 dwelling units per acre, located at 0 Winkle Lane, parcel ID 137-04804 in the 9th Commission District.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Present.
Name and address, please.
Taylor Forrester, 1111 North Shore Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919. Also with me is Frank Leonard with Leonard Development.
Thank you. And there was no one signed up to speak on this item, so Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PR Plan Residential Zone up to 5 dwelling units per acre because it's consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan, subject to 3 conditions.
Thank you. Mr. Forrester?
Yes, this property is located at 0 Winkle Lane. We're requesting rezoning to Plan Residential at 5 dwelling units per acre. This property is located at the corner of John Sevier Highway and Winkle Lane. Consists of approximately 7.28 acres. There are 2 different place types on this property. Corridor mixed use is on the front half, and then traditional neighborhood is on the back half. The requested rezoning meets the criteria that must be met under the comprehensive land use plan. Both place types recommend a residential housing mix. Plan residential at 5 dwelling units per acre meets this first criterion as the allowable housing types align with the recommended housing mix under both place types. In addition, the corridor mixed-use place type requires connectivity to adjoining or adjacent neighborhoods with the condition that we connect to the subdivision to the west of us, which is a recent development that's just started. That satisfies that criterion under the corridor mixed-use place type. This condition supports the intent of the CMU place type as it complies with the implementation policies number 11 and number 14, which are to promote that connectivity. Conditions further supported under the subdivision regulations requiring or encouraging connectivity as well. With connecting the right-of-way condition, this is extensively an extension of that subdivision being developed to the west of us. That subdivision was that property was rezoned in October of 2024 to plan residential at 5 dwelling units per acre, and earlier this year it came through for concept plan and development plan approval for that residential subdivision. There are other properties in the immediate vicinity that would support this rezoning request at planned residential 5 units an acre across John Sevier Highway. There to the north of this property, we have a zoning designation of planned residential at 8 dwelling units per acre. To the east side of Winkle Lane, there's another property that has a zoning designation of PR at 5 dwelling units per acre. And as previously mentioned, the one directly to the west of us at planned residential at 5 dwelling units per acre. I wasn't here in November, but there was discussion about the width and concern of Winkle Lane as whether it was sufficient to support access from a residential development. It's our understanding that Winkle Lane would have to be improved substantially for this development to have access. And I bring that up because that is kind of a condition, talking about the connectivity of the western subdivision to Winkle Lane. We are fine not having that access and relying on the access through the adjacent subdivision. I had conversations with Director Snowden that the access through that adjoining subdivision would be adequate access for our development and the existing development there. So we ask that you approve the rezoning request to plan residential at 5 dwelling units per acre because it's consistent with the existing place type designations of corridor mixed use and traditional neighborhood. Again, answer any questions as well as my client, Frank Leonard. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Commissioner Durrett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Forrester, one of the reasons why this was postponed from last month was to speak to the neighborhood. Has that happened?
Yes, that happened last Tuesday night when the South Doyle Neighborhood Association held their monthly meeting, and Mr. Leonard was present and discussed the requested rezoning and proposed development for the property to the members there.
Okay. What was the result of that? Was it conducive, or can you speak to how that went?
Can I have Mr. Leonard address that?
Yeah.
Hey, Frank Leonard, happy to address that. So we had a turnout. There were about 18 people that showed up there. We had good, engaging conversations. They did have concerns about growth in the South Knoxville area. A couple key points that were brought up was that is where most of the growth is coming from or going to these days. It's a fair point. We discussed it, but as I was here last month, we saw 4 other subdivisions being approved, all in different districts, and so it's a fair concern. But I do see growth everywhere here in Knoxville. Another concern was just are we really growing enough here in Knoxville to make it worthwhile? And I think probably most people saw last week the article in the News Sentinel that UT did a study that said there were over 30,000 people that moved here from 2020 to 2024. So we do see demand in that. So very cordial. They expressed their opposition and their concerns, but many of the people that were there that night also walked up to me afterwards, shook my hand, thanked me for coming and talking to them personally, wished me success. They may not agree with what I was originally asking, but also was willing and appreciative that I came out and talked to them.
Thank you. Well, we do appreciate when developers do speak to the neighbors and get involved. So one of the conditions and something that Mr. Forrester spoke to was connectivity to the subdivision and potentially not Winkle Lane.
Correct.
Are you willing to do that? And is that a possibility, Mr. Snowden? Is that something to do? And with that, I guess it's kind of a two-pronged question. Does the condition number 3 that says providing street connectivity to the abutting western property and Winkle Lane need to change if they are not using Winkle Lane as access.
Correct. That's, Commissioner, that's what Amy and I were talking about. The condition is worded that they do have to have both. And candidly, with the number of lots this gentleman would create, it would really be cost prohibitive for him to, because we would be looking for him to widen the entirety of Winkle Lane, not just from his entrance to John Sevier, but all the way back to Temple Station, which would make it almost really impossible for him to do so. So based on the number of lots of the adjoining subdivision and his potential created lots, we do not have a problem with modifying the condition so that the access would only be to John Sevier Highway.
Okay, thanks. And I guess my last question would be, what is your plan here?
So looking at a residential development, most likely single-family homes. I guess a lot will depend on what's decided here tonight, but that's the initial thought. So that would be it. I'm happy to comply with not putting an access to Winkle Lane. I do think that's responsible. That's a narrow road, so I'm fine with adjoining to the adjacent property to the west.
Okay, and so with it being 7.25 roughly acres and your request of 5, we're looking at 36?
Well, potentially that could be what it is, but I think to actually make the lots work, at least our initial thoughts on is probably going to be somewhere between 32 to 33, but 36 would be the max. If there was a need for townhomes instead, that would probably make a little more sense, but I'm looking at single-family homes at this point.
So around 32 or 33 houses?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Fox?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a couple questions for Mr. Leonard, if you don't mind, Mr. Leonard. Mr. Leonard, would you say it's a fair consensus of the attendees of that meeting from the neighborhood that they were requesting that you pursue higher end, lower density housing?
They did. There was a couple people who did recommend that or suggested that.
Yes.
Sure.
And then basically the community voiced their opposition to your project. Is that
They
a
did.
fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And again, they also were very appreciative of me coming and thanking me for my time and appreciation. I think that's why we do that, to
Right.
go there and at least meet the people in person.
And also, do you think it would be fair to characterize the basis for their opposition? At least one of the bases of their opposition was they're concerned that continuing to build houses in a certain tier would ultimately change the character of the community. Is that?
There were people who mentioned that lower price houses were needed for people, and then there were people who in that crowd who also mentioned they would like to see a higher priced house in there as well. So I had comments on both sides of that equation.
Right. But people were remarking, weren't they, that that South Knox is traditionally a area of the county where people make long-term investment in their home and their life versus a starter home. Isn't that correct?
There was that consent for sure.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. When looking at the 5 units per acre, were you initially looking at townhomes, or has it shifted to where now you're looking at single family, or are you
No.
is townhome still a possibility?
Primarily looking at single family. It could be a possibility of townhomes, looking at that. The adjacent property, the subdivision to the west, is single family and townhomes, so there's a precedent with that development right there that I think either product could be justified. But again, when I requested this, I looked at 5 because that was consistent with what's in the area. There are some areas, as Mr. Forrester pointed out, that have more, but that wasn't my desire. One of the things that was mentioned that night, too, was responsible development. They weren't anti-development. They were concerned about responsible development. So I could have come in here wanting 7 or 8 units, but I don't think that was responsible for the area. I think blending into what's already going in there made a lot more sense to me personally, and it can make it work for a development as well.
Well, and to my understanding, you will be the end builder of this as well, correct?
At this point, it's undecided, but I certainly have developed and built houses for 20 years here, so it's a possibility.
So the ones west will more than likely be a different builder than what will be in yours. And so they'll look different anyway.
Correct.
Correct? So you could have a stark difference in appearance, quality, standards, whatever.
Correct.
And so there may be precedent of single-family and townhomes, but your single-family or townhome could look better. or
Differentiate. Mhm.
Different than,
Yep.
than what would be to the west, so.
That's fair. Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
there's a possibility to do something nicer, even at a higher density.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioner Hill?
Thank you. And I appreciate what you said, Commissioner Thompson, about something nicer at the same density. However, I think for us to be realistic about this, given what's across the street and also this predetermined 5 per acre that's immediately to the west of it, it would be nice to think about having some, perhaps larger lot, smaller home, or a larger lot, more expensive homes there. I'm not sure how realistic that would be, given the fact that they don't have direct access to John Sevier Highway. Driving through a high-density area to, if there's a marked difference between access, I'm not sure how appealing that would be if, quite honestly, if I was building $1 million home and I had to drive through $500,000 homes in the same development virtually to get there. So I'm not real sure how practical that request might be. Just thinking as a potential homeowner myself.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. To Commissioner Hill, when I said something nicer at a higher density, I was thinking more along the townhome end of it, to where if you had like a single level, nicer townhome, maybe like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, something in larger square footage, because yes, it's going to be a smaller unit to get the density, but you can build a nicer a townhome and still have that density and reach the clientele that Commissioner Fox was referencing, where folks who do live in South Knoxville, they I mean, I deal with it in my district as well, where we have folks who would like to retire, but they don't want the upkeep of the house and the yard and everything else that goes along with it on the outside, and they want to deal with stairs of a 2-story home. But they love South Knoxville and they want to live in South Knoxville and stay in South Knoxville. But a nicer townhome that they could be proud of would be more suitable for them. That's what I was getting at with nicer on higher density. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, seeing no further discussion, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Fox.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I attended the meeting last Tuesday, and I try to attend the South Old Neighborhood Association meeting every month because that is probably the most active group in South Knox County that meets on that basis. There are some other, like Lakemore Hills meets, but not that frequently. And the people there were in opposition to this project, and there are several points that I'd like to bring up to the commission. First of all, like I said, the community opposed it. And we did have a very informative, respectful, and thoughtful conversation with Mr. Leonard. And the comment I made when I was there was, I think Mr. Leonard and Mr. Young, who asked to have his project withdrawn, they're about 5 to 10 years too late. If they had gotten in before a lot of these other projects, I don't know if the community would be in opposition to the extent they were. Or if they wanted to wait 5 or 10 years, then there might be an embracing of this project. But right now, there is the Price's Point project over there just before the river on the John Sevier Highway near the, across the street from the Veterans Cemetery. That's 145 houses. There's the Weigel's development, which is right near the town center of Governor's Crossing. That's 200, there's a 253 person or dwelling unit apartment building being built right now. There is the subdivision next door, which has 64, or I'm sorry, opposite Wildwood, 64 apartments and 73 single-family homes. And I don't think I'm confusing that with the Masonic subdivision, which is being built next door to this. There's Cherokee Woods, which is just, I don't know, a mile down the road. That's 174 single-family homes. Then, of course, we have the D.R. Horton project at 2814 Tipton Station Road, which is going to be around 350 homes. And we have I think it's like 180 dwelling units off of Highland View and Pickens Gap Road, which is not far from this, a couple miles, 3 miles. And then, of course, we have all the development going on at Dry Hollow Road that involves the Bauer Field, and I'm sure you all are well aware of that. So there is just too much right now, and there needs to be a time of assimilation when it comes to all these construction projects going on. We need to see how is this going to affect South Knox County in practicality. We have theory and we have practicality, and at this point, the community wants to see how this that's already lined up to be built is going to play out over the next few years. There is the issue of the community saying, hey, you know what, we need more high-end housing down here. We want this to be a community which it has, or continue to be a community which it has traditionally been, which is a place where people invest long-term in the community. And there are lots of these projects that I mentioned, apartments, starter homes, that is starting to change the character of the community, and they're afraid that will change the character of the community, so they want to see a focus on a different type of housing being built. And let's see. Well, and of course, that particular point is it's echoed by the Chamber of Commerce and the East Tennessee Realtors Group, which both conceded or just affirmatively stated that more high-end housing is needed across the county itself, because that's really what's creating the bottleneck. You have not enough high-end housing for an influx of people from other states that are cash-rich and able to buy houses, and so they're competing at the top end of housing, and because the locals can't compete with these out-of-state residents, it then has a cascading effect upon the housing market all the way down, so that it's driving up the cost of starter homes. So with all that being said, I really appreciate Mr. Leonard and how he's approached requesting this project, but I'm making a motion to deny this application.
I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Fox. I got a second by Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was looking at the map and where you're bringing up the unbuilt rezonings, and there are quite a few, and you make a good point with that. I had a question for Director Brooks. In the future land use map, it says that the corner of Winkle and John Sevier is a corridor mixed use or commercial mixed use. What could potentially go in there for that usage if because part of this is in that future land use. So what are for the neighbor's perspective, what could we see go in there?
I can tell you what the place type allows, and then we would need to look at the current zoning, because the zoning is what determines what is legally allowed. The land use is a policy plan.
Mm-hmm.
So for the corridor mixed use, the primary uses are commercial office, and secondary uses are multifamily residential and attached residential, as well as civic uses. So the housing mix for the corridor mixed use is multifamily buildings, attached residential such as duplexes, multiplexes, and townhomes, and then residential units above the ground floor retail.
Okay, so that's the place type for the future land use. Obviously, we'd have to go through a rezoning there, but that's already in the future land use. And I was just looking at what the neighbors could potentially be looking at with, very valid reason, because it's already in, that's the place type, that's the potential already stated use that would be recommended there.
Yes, but it's, as you know, it's currently zoned agriculture.
It's still zoned ag. I mean, I do share some of the same concerns that Commissioner Fox does with the several rezoned but not yet built out properties. So, I mean, I can see your point.
Commissioner Hill?
I quite honestly, I don't have the stomach to just outright deny this. I'm not sure that's practical. It's not with our comprehensive plan. And Commissioner Fox, I have been to very few homeowners meetings where anyone was excited about anything being built around them. I really believe, given what is already approved next door and what is already across the street, plus the commercial that's around it, that this probably is more, probably 5 per acre is not unreasonable, just giving its immediate surroundings, so.
Commissioner Durrett?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree that it is hard to argue anything. I definitely don't think, I could not outright deny it either. And based on what is around it, and it being, 32, 33 additional homes, I do understand the argument. I do understand what the community is saying about all the projects that are set to be built or in the process. But just denying this, I don't think is the proper way to go. So I'm going to make a substitute motion to rezone from agriculture to PR at 5 dwelling units an acre with the 3 conditions, with 1 change, striking Winkle Lane from condition number 3, if that would be sufficient, Mr. Snowden.
Commissioner Thompson?
Just for clarification, that's removing Winkle Lane as an access point, correct?
Correct.
Correct. So I've got a substitute motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Okay. Any further discussion? Commissioner Hill?
Just for clarification, so the only entrance and access then would be John Sevier?
Correct.
Is that what we're understanding? All right, thank you.
Commissioner Fox?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I have further discussion. I'm here as a representative of my community, and I think I've articulated very clearly what my community wants. And this is not a situation where there has been piecemeal, spotty development, and then, after a number of years, there's a new development coming down the road. There is a tremendous amount of development going on right now, and I think it's fair that the community asks the developer to wait to see how is this all going to play out. And so that's what I said to Mr. Leonard, that just need to wait a while to let the current building be digested, and let's see how it plays out. It could result in a greater need for school build-out, and I know that I've already received complaints about how busy John Sevier Highway is right now, and it's not going to be widened for another 5 years at least. That's what the state's saying. Remember, the state was going to fix Alcoa Highway initially back in around 2003, and you know how long it took that project to actually get rolling. So I think what happens when overdevelopment takes place is it decreases the quality of life of the residents. You know, when businesses overextend themselves, they go bankrupt. That's not what happens when zoning, or I'm sorry, when counties, in a sense, overextend themselves with the existing infrastructure. It just results in a decrease in the quality of life of the residents. So they have more traffic headaches. They have, more schools with the trailers. And that's the concern that my constituents are expressing, and they don't want to have a diminishing quality of life. They want to see how it's going to play out. So I would just respectfully ask everybody then to vote no to this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we have a substitute motion on the floor by Commissioner Durrett, second by Commissioner Jay, with 3 conditions in striking Winkle Road, correct? Did you get that? Okay. Yes, yes, okay. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
No.
All right, roll call, please. Starting 1. That's fine.
Commissioner Rawls.
Aye.
Commissioner Darrett.
Aye.
Commissioner Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson.
Aye.
Commissioner Russell. No. Commissioner Hill. Aye. Commissioner Lee.
No.
Commissioner Thompson. No. Commissioner Fox. No. Commissioner Jay. Commissioner Frazier.
No.
All right, that motion passes 6-5. All right, next item, please.
Item number 9, O-25-12-101, is an ordinance of the Commission of Knox County, Tennessee, amending the Knox County Code, Appendix A zoning, Article 6, revising Section 6.10, 6.30, 6.40, and 6.50, and adding a new Section 6.90 pertaining to vested rights following recent legislative actions and the adoption of the Knox County Comprehensive Plan. This amends Ordinance O-90-9-130, adopted September 10th, 1990, as amended. This is on first reading.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion on this item? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion? Commissioner Russell? Push your... It's on, but it's not, and you're on here, but... There you go.
There we go. Thank you. Yes, I actually was kind of concerned or curious why we are making changes to ordinances while we're in the middle of writing the UDO and why we could not just simply wait and do an encompassing.
This is based on a new state statute that went into effect this year that changes the way development rights vest and also requires us to come up with a definition of what substantial compliance means. In the past, if a developer got a development plan approved, then their right to develop it would be vested for 3 years. And if you changed development standards in the county, they'd still get to work under the old development. Under these new statutes passed at the state level, that vesting period now takes effect when they apply for a development plan, so long as their application substantially complies with the rules and regulations that we have. So in order to comply with the state law, we've been working with planning, with the city law department, because the city zoning has done the same thing. And we've got basically an ordinance that is very similar to what the city has passed that just puts these things into effect. We had to do this, in other words. This is not voluntary. We had to do something to comply with these state statutes.
Thank you. All right, so do I have a motion?
Second.
I got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Frazier. Roll call, please. You can, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Commissioner Darrett,
Aye.
Commissioner Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson,
Aye.
Commissioner Russell, Commissioner Hill, Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Thompson, Commissioner Fox, Commissioner Jay, Commissioner Frazier, Commissioner Rawls.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we have no one signed up for public forum. Other business, I will go over a couple of things unless anybody else has anything. All right. Don't forget, Reads Across America is happening on Saturday at noon at all three veterans cemeteries. Next Monday, if everybody will dress Christmassy and nice, we will take a picture. For January, our meeting dates are a little bit different because of Martin Luther King. So our optional review and zoning is January 20th. And then our Rules, Beer Board, and Commission is January 26th. And I believe that we have set the training date for January 7th for electronic voting. So we had done that last month, I believe, at 1 o'clock. So January 7th at 1 o'clock. So all of that. Commissioner Durant?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will we need to set a public hearing for the ordinance, since it's
Yeah,
second
we
reading?
will. So we can just set that right before.
The training.
Yeah, we could actually set it right before the training or right after the training.
On the 7th?
Mm-hmm. Or we could do it, right before zoning.
I think I'd say right before zoning.
Right before zoning? Okay. So Drew, if you'll put that down for public meeting. Okay. Or what we might do is maybe do it around optional review, something like that. Yeah, okay. All right, anybody else, anything else? Commissioner Jay?
Just a reminder to everyone, junior commissioner application deadline is next Thursday, the 18th at 5 o'clock sharp. There are no extensions, so if you have any high schools in your district, please reach out to them. I have sent you all an update with your applications and information sheets. If you need any help, reach out to Commissioners Durrett or myself, and we will help you.
Perfect. All right, that will do it, and we are adjourned.